Want to be more disciplined? Discipline definitely gets a bad rap sometimes, right? It sounds like drudgery, like you're constantly grinding it out, like waking up at 4:30 in the morning to train for a triathlon when you just want to hit the snooze on your alarm and sleep in. But discipline, it's not about grinding harder. It's about designing your life in a smarter way. So discipline, it is a system, but it's not a mood or an emotion. Discipline fails when it relies solely on willpower. And you might ask why. It's because willpower is a depleting resource. Try having the willpower when you first get up in the morning to maybe go work out or go for a run, for a walk, or do something that's hard. Sometimes it's just not there unless you're highly motivated. And motivation isn't the answer either. So according to a landmark study by Roy Baumeister at Florida State University, people who used willpower on one task had less self-control, you heard that right, on subsequent tasks. So translation here is, if you're white-knuckling your way through your to-do list, you're going to burn out fast. Instead, maybe consider relying on some systems instead of relying on that self-control, that motivation to come, especially when you put out new goals and you're trying to achieve things, right? Sometimes we try to be all motivated and it fizzles out fast. But successful people, they rely on systems. And a system is just a process or a set of rules that supports the behavior that you want without needing to feel motivated in the moment. So think of it as discipline on autopilot. And yes, there is some science behind systems-driven discipline. The average adult makes about 35,000 decisions per day, believe it or not. That's a lot. I mean, we know we're making a lot of decisions, but 35,000, that's a lot. So systems reduce that decision fatigue by pre-deciding things in advance, like what you'll eat, what you'll wear, what you'll work on, those type of things. Also, habits make up about 40 to 45% of daily behaviors, and that's according to researchers at Duke University. That means that nearly half of what you do each day anyway is on autopilot, meaning you are not even thinking about it. That's scary and enlightening at the same time. So if 40 to 45% of the time you're just running on autopilot, it may as well be in the things that you're trying to accomplish, right? So why not design those habits intentionally, I guess you would say. And people who plan when and where they'll do said behavior are 2 times or even sometimes 3 times more likely to follow through. And that's according to research on implementation intentions by Peter Goldweiser. So let's look at a real world example here. There's some power of having some pre-commitments. Let's say you want to exercise more. Saying, I'll go to the gym more is nice, but creating a system like putting your gym shoes by the door, scheduling your workout on your calendar, and packing your gym bag the night before is way more effective. And a tip here is also use the if-then formula. So if it's 6:30 a.m. on a Monday, Wednesday, and a Friday, then I go to the gym for 30 minutes. So put it into your schedule, put it into your day-to-day habits, and before you know it, you'll be getting out there, getting your workout in, and it'll be like a nothing thing because you're not thinking about it and putting that emotion tied to it, right? That's a system, and it works even when you're just not feeling it. And how many of you are most of the time just not feeling it, right? I've been there, I know. And another if-then statement could be, if I block out 90 minutes at the start of my day, then I can deeply focus on a project that I'm trying to start and that will move the needle for me. Now that's a system, and it works even when you're not feeling it. So it's your new and your more thoughtful autopilot. And systems create a lot of momentum, right? And momentum creates motivation. Most of the time, motivation does not come first. We need to get moving first, even if it's hard. So most people think motivation leads to action, but in reality, action leads to that motivation. Systems help you act before you are motivated. And once you're in motion, staying disciplined gets way easier. Just ask James Clear, author of Atomic Habits. You do not rise to the level of your goals, but you fall to the level of your systems. Ouch, right? And we can use what James Clear says in Atomic Habits for almost anything in our lives, of getting that 1% better, making those decisions to, just really strategize what we want our life to look like, and scheduling it and trying to get the emotion and the thought process out of the way. So how do you make systems work for you? Here's how to get started with systems-driven discipline. You're going to want to first identify at least one area where you want to be more disciplined. So this can be working out, writing, starting a business, saving money, whatever it is. Everyone has something different, right? Second is you want to break it into tiny, repeatable actions. So maybe for an example, you want to write 100 words a day. If you're looking to write a book, even writing an ebook or putting together a presentation. A third is design a system to make it automatic. So really tie it to maybe some other habits or some other things you have going on. So maybe do your writing right after your morning coffee, or block out 90 minutes at a certain time of the day. You're going to want to track your progress, because what gets measured gets managed. And finally, you want to remove as much friction as you can, make it easy to start and hard to skip, or when you do skip, it makes you feel really guilty. So the bottom line here is you don't need more willpower, you just need better systems. So go ahead, give yourself a break, build a system so good, discipline becomes effortless. If you need help focusing on the right systems for the goals that you are trying to achieve, it's something that I specialize in. Send me a DM, let me know in the comments, or visit my website to learn more. And systems I've found in my life can be really game-changing. I know at least they were for me in many ways, shapes, and forms, and for different reasons in different parts of my life too. So if you found this content helpful, valuable, please consider sharing, please consider subscribing, and we will see you on the next video.